Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I am your host, David Streggy, and today I have a review for you, and this is why I like that I am so diverse. Um, if anyone knows anything about me, I love turtles, and if I could go around the room and show you all the turtle animals and the fact that I own a red-eared slider by the name of Frankenstein, or Frankie the Gangster for short. um, I'm here to talk about a film that was put out by um, and presented by Lighthouse Pictures in association with Totem Films and Video Productions, but it was in association with Grindstone Entertainment Group, and it was distributed by Lionsgate in 2017. But it wasn't at Walmart till 2018. So it's a film directed by Luc Campeau, and it's the story and the screenplay is written by Robert Means, who is behind 2004's storyline of Blessed. So here we have a character actor by the name of Noah Schnacky, and he plays Kelvin. Kelvin is a skateboardist when we first meet him in the film, and he's going up against a couple other people who are apparently professional skaters, and his friends distract him with a flashlight and he ends up winning, but he gets mad at them, specifically one in particular, which I believe his name is Benno, and ultimately he gets mad at them because he wanted to win by his own means, and but in getting angry at his friend, he ends up throwing something random into the car of a young child by the name of Kyle, and he ends up going to court. He gets a heavy sentence, actually, with 6 months worth of community service, which is quite a heavy sentence, to be honest. But there just so happens to be a nature preserve somewhere nearby, which is run by a woman by the name of Sarah, and there are owls and turtles and definitely some animals that need changing. So when Kyle comes to the nature preserve, which there is also another young girl by the name of Marley, who is played by Lily Cardone, and evidently her mom has died somewhat recently and is dealing with those issues. So the nature preserve is a place that she finds, a place that she can work in harmony with the nature and the animals. And Kyle, even though we see him clean up the place and get get basically dirty from cleaning the poop from the different bird cages and whatnot, we see that he begins to enjoy the atmosphere and the people that run the place. Which Sarah, she is very fond of her for her animals that she takes care of. And we know the actress who plays Sarah as Mary Rachel Quinn, which under her acting name is Mary Rachel Dudley. Now she played recently as as Mrs. As one of the wives of one of the superheroes in the recent Fantastic Four. And she also played a supporting role in the Bill Engvall movie Bait Shop, and so on and so forth. So this is I think this is one of her first roles where she actually has a bigger support, a bigger role, even though the character of Kelvin is the main character. But here's the thing: we actually have three turtles. One is an alligator snapping turtle, and the other two are red-eared sliders, by the name of Hank, Raffi, and Goliath. So we have the voice talents of Tom Arnold, Amber Childers, and Lydia Hull, voicing the turtles, and we see that eventually that the friends of Kelvin, because they weren't getting along, Kelvin and the older of the older boy of the group weren't getting along. Him and his guy friends that they hang out with, which I believe are Marty, Chaz, and Ray, they all end up going to the nature reserve and letting out the owls, letting out the animals, and there is actually quite a mean thing that they do to the turtles, where they tie balloons to the turtles and to make them fly over the park, and in a sense, one of the turtles gets lost, and so does the owl. And in the whole process, while looking and searching for these animals, Sarah, the woman in charge of the nature reserve, she gets hurt, and Kelvin and Marley are in charge of the park. Now, one of the things that I like is that the little kid that Kelvin had broken the mirror of his parents' car. He actually came to the nature preserve and started hanging out with Kelvin, and they became good friends. And Kyle would take nature videos of the animals and put them up on YouTube or whatnot and get them, publicity. And they were making the news, and everything was going great for a while. It's just when the violence happened, and like I said, I think two of the things that surprised me out of this is how cruel the law was towards him for such a accident of even though it was in anger. I mean, he broke a window. I remember when you used to just get a slap on your wrist for that kind of thing, but he actually got time to do stuff. Evidently, it was such a crime that you'd actually have to be punished for it, even though it was accidental. The other thing was how cruel the young men were to the animals, and in response to how when teenagers are friends with each other and they have differences of opinion, do you really go to that extreme and act out when it was wrong to do what you did to begin with. And I commend Calvin for standing up for his views and what he wanted to do in the beginning. And so, I mean, I think that this film was meant to be moralistic. So I feel like this film kind of goes in the same quality of some of the Christian films that come out, which are out there to teach a lesson about what you should or shouldn't do. And I think that that's where this film falls in line with. Now, you can hear the voices of what some of these animals are thinking, and that falls in the vein of films such as like Homeward Bound, and you know, Cats and Dogs, films of that nature. So I thought, for being such a low budget, I thought the area location, or the location where it was filmed, I thought, at least with the nature preserve, I thought that was pretty cool. And I like that this was based or inspired by events that took place at a real, actual nature park in Largo, Florida, at the George C. McGaw Nature Park. Because the story of Junior the owl was witnessed and told by the park's first inhabitant. So, in any case, if this film is something that you might like to watch, definitely check it out for your own viewing. I was fairly entertained by this. Now, they could have had a bigger budget, and the mouths could have moved a little bit more along with the voices that were speaking, but I think they did a relatively decent job of trying to, you know, tell the story from the point of view of the turtles, as well as the, you know, the story that went along with the, you know, the things that were happening with Kelvin, and the things that were happening with the character of Marley, and even some of the romance that was going on between Sarah and that lawyer. So, in any case, hopefully you like and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully you enjoyed hearing what I had to say about this film. And if you like it, definitely definitely check it out. I enjoyed it. So I think that this was geared more towards teenagers, but I think that a family could enjoy this as, you know, a night film. It's definitely not that violent that you can't share it with you know, young ones. But it's not as fun as as childish as the buddy movies. That's for sure. So, in any case, like, share, and subscribe, and hopefully I'll have another review for you that'll be cool and entertaining. Have a good afternoon or morning.